The 2024 Ondo State governorship election is scheduled to hold on 16 November 2024 across all the local government areas of the state. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is conducting the poll in line with the Electoral Act 2022, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, as well as its guidelines on the conduct of elections. Participating political parties are in the final stages of campaigns for votes from the electorate, seeking to sway them with mouth-watering promises of the dividends of democracy. This Saturday, all eyes will be on Ondo State, southwest Nigeria, as the electorate elects a governor who will direct their political, social, and economic affairs for the next 4 years. What is the conduct expected of political parties, their supporters, voters, the electoral umpire, security agencies, and election monitors before, during, and after the election? These issues are for discussion on Panorama today. Welcome to the program. I am Ogochkuka Ona. Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, says the government of Nigeria is dedicated to enhancing digital infrastructure across all state parties, while emphasizing the importance of robust personal data protection provisions to foster trust and prevent cyber crimes and fraud. This was at the 15th meeting of the African Continental Free Trade Area in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Jumoke says Nigeria acknowledges the significant strides made with the Protocol on Digital Trade, which offers pragmatic rules designed to drive digital transformation across the continent so as to grow SMEs in Africa. The minister believes that the seamless operationalization of the new protocol will serve as a catalyst for economic development by increasing trade and optimizing the industrial structure of the continent. The federal government's desire of making the mining industry next to crude oil in revenue generation will soon be a reality as the Mining Cadastre Office records increase in monthly inflow. Director General of the Mining Cadastre Office, Obadiah Simon Nkom, gave the assurance when the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals visited the agency. Mia Ogidi reports.
It has been talks, policies, investment and promises for years in the mining industry, while the gestation period was never in sight. Gladly, indications are clear that the much-awaited gestation period is here. And this office, the Mining Cadastre Office, led by its Director General Obadiah Simon Nkom, with the faithful implementation of policies initiated by the Minister Dele Alake, is making the federal government proud, an impressive balance sheet.
Like it is on record that since the increase and the review, the revenue has shot up. We've never had anything more than 500 million in a month, but I can tell you that in in August, it was 1.2, then subsequently 1.8.
The improvements, as it were, in your revenue, we need to have a ramp up. We need to ramp up our revenue. That is one way that we can even fund our budget.
It is a standard the senators expect the Mining Cadastral Office to maintain. Better still, surpass it as they await a more cheering news in revenue generation in the next visit. Mie Ogede, NTA News.
And similarly, towards advancing sustainability in Nigeria's mining sector, the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development has called on industry players to prioritize environmental responsibility, community engagement, and compliance with climate-friendly practices. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Mary Ogbe, made a call at a sensitization program organized by the Ministry's Mining Environmental Compliance Department in Abuja. Represented by the Director at Sinal and Small-Scale Mining, Yunusa Mohammed, the Permanent Secretary outlined key initiatives to promote a mining sector that supports both economic development and environmental stewardship.
Title holders, it is our responsibility to ensure that your operations are environmentally sustainable, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and promote renewable energy sources. The Ministry of Solid Minerals Development is therefore committed in supporting research and development of climate-friendly mining technologies.
Understanding and fulfilling our environmental obligations is not just a regulatory requirement, but a fundamental aspect of responsible mining. Our duty extends beyond mere compliance. It encompasses a commitment to proactive environmental stewardship. We'll delve into the specific obligations that mining companies must adhere to and explore best practices for meeting these requirements effectively.
And now to our topic for today. 17 political parties and their governorship candidates in Ondo State have signed a peace accord ahead of the November 16 governorship election. The ceremony, which was at the instance of the National Peace Committee led by its chairman, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, is to ensure a violence-free electoral process. Ifeoluwa Omosule reports.
The display of unity among the governorship candidates after signing the peace accord signals their commitment to maintaining peace and sending a message of non-violence to their supporters.
We all abide by the tenets of that signed peace accord.
We have to first of all protect our state before we talk about the kind of political party we belong to. At the end of the day, one out of the candidates will win.
We educate our supporters. We inform them across the 80 local governments.
The National Peace Committee, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and other relevant key players urged the candidates to uphold peace, emphasizing that a smooth electoral process hinges on a stable and peaceful environment even after the election results are announced.
Election is not war. So please, want Nigerians, especially on those states, citizens, to go out and vote for a candidate of their choice.
The peace accord is not an automated, self-actualizing document. Your commitment to its implementation is crucial.
Highlighting potential disruptions to the electoral process, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, represented by Deputy Inspector General of Police, Abiodun Alabi, warned the candidates against engaging in any activity that could incite violence, stating that anyone found guilty would face legal consequences.
The electorate, the voters, all political gladiators, the police itself. All we need to do is just to ensure that peace reigns.
The governorship candidates expressed their desire for a credible election outcome that genuinely reflects the will of the people. In Akure, Ifeoluwa Omosule, NTA News.
There is no doubt that this weekend's governorship election in Ondo State promises to be interesting, and participating political parties are gearing up to play their part. We have with us in the studio to discuss further on it is Chris Aguirre. He's the founder, Flag Foundation. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
Good afternoon. All right, so from your observations so far, how would you assess the level of preparation by INEC, security agencies, and of course the electorate themselves?
Yeah, well, INEC will always tell you that they are ready to go. I think precisely on the 29th or 30th of last month, we had our fourth quarterly consultative meeting with the INEC chair and management. And the main focus was on the election. INEC, according to the chairman, they are good to go for the election. And this peace accord is one of those major events as it is, prior to elections. And the peace accord is contributing in as much as it has no legal enforcement on those that refuse to. But you can see these 17 political parties signed as against what we had in Ondo State. And so this pricks to their conscience that, look, before the war, you have assented to, peaceful conduct, peaceful behavior. You as a major contestant, your followers, your party people, and Ondo people generally. And so we are looking forward to a peaceful, free, fair, credible election
come the 16th and Saturday, for Ondo governorship election. As one of those off-cycle elections, and we expect a further improvement, taking cognizance of some of the happenings during the Edo election. We expect everybody to put himself or herself, their party people, to order, and then the security agencies to be up and doing and up their game. Some of the issues raised during Edo election, we expect to see corrections. We expect to see an improvement. And in the history of elections, let us resolve to the fact that in every election cycle, whether general election or off-cycle election, let there be an improvement, no matter how incremental, considering from where we're coming from. Because one thing we must get right, if to move this country forward, is a free, fair, credible election. And this provides another opportunity to all and sundry. The INEC management, including the ad hoc staff, they're all Nigerians. We, the election observers, the security agents, the voters themselves, the party agents, party officials, we will know that party agents is always giving us problems. But we expect, and then I'm also calling on all the major actors, stakeholders in the coming Ondo State election to resolve to do things right, because we're human beings, we're not animals. Do things in line with the procedures, with the rules regarding conduct of elections, with the frameworks, the guidelines for this election that INEC has laid out. It will be a plus for us, whether you win or you lose, that Ondo election comes to set a different pace as we look forward to Anambra next year. That's what I expect, and that's what I'm calling on all and sundry, to also get to. And I also expect the president to also make a declaration regarding the election, and to ask everybody to play by the rules of engagement. And to politicians, with due respect to some of them, because of a winner-takes-all thing, and because the political business, as it were, is the most thriving, the most lucrative. So people now take it as a do-or-die thing, and it ought not to be like that. We are seeing a case where governors are becoming more and more powerful. And so you can't, there's virtually no limit to what the average politician will go to make sure they win a governorship election. And that is where we are calling for the enactment of the Electoral Offences Tribunal or Commission, whichever it is, to try electoral offenders, to act as deterrent. All along the stories, I've been observing elections since 2003. And I sent myself under the platform of the Flag Foundation of Nigeria. I found myself. And my quest to observe election is to really understudy what really goes on in the field of the election, at the day of election, at the time of the election. And it's a body of knowledge. And so for now, until we resolve to conduct our elections in line with global best practices in election conduct and behavior, we'll be making mockery of ourselves.
Okay, Mr. Chris, you talked about the flaws that were observed during the Edo governorship election and, of course, these previous ones. Can you tell us some of those flaws that were noticed? I overheard somebody talking about vote buying, which is already in place in Ondo State as we speak. So what would be your recommendation to correct this abnormally?
Yeah, before I get into the issue of vote buying, some of the things we raised were, of course, it was Dr. Jide, who raised the issue of logistics. Materials getting to the polling units as at when due, as in line with the 8 o'clock opening of ballots. And then, if you hear the INEC side of the story, the INEC chairman took time to explain the things they go through. And I, myself, as an election observer, I am a witness to what happened in Anambra, I think, in 2021, where in the Ihala local government, election could not hold because somebody just passed a rumor. And then all the National Union of Road Transport workers within that area refused to turn up. There's nothing INEC can do at that point in time. These are some of the complexities and challenges involving the election. Then they also talk about the issue of non-visibility of security agents. And from the records, it's almost about 45 to 48,000 security personnel, police, army on special side, all other military and paramilitary agencies were deployed in Edo State. In the areas where they expected to be, they were not there. This logistics could also be part of it. Then, Liz.
On the vote buying now, before we round off.
On the vote buying, am I not tired of commenting on the vote buying? You see, truth be told, vote buying is a reality and a major challenge. And you know why it's thriving? Because we have not seen anybody convicted on jail or even tried for vote buying offenses. These are the things we must put in place. And now look at the economy as it's biting. To the average person who does not care, but after all, we have a story in the Bible, somebody who sold his birthright because of hunger. Using that as a parameter, what do you expect? The average person that will not get, from week to week, 5,000 will not enter their pocket. And here somebody is dangling 10,000 in front of them. And to some extent, I don't blame them. But let them also know that it is an offense, punishable by jail sentence. And to the politicians and their agents who are offering the money, not until we bring some of them to trial. Otherwise, we'll just be beating around the bush.
Okay.
But let me also emphasize to you, the contestant, to party agents, to all the party stalwarts and whoever you are, including the INEC staff, just know that exchange of money for the purposes of getting somebody to pay for, even if it's not money, some bags of rice and all the rest of them, it is an offense under the electoral law in Nigeria.
Okay, so until decisive steps are taken, it will continue.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Aguirre, founder, Flag Foundation, for your contribution to Panorama today.
Thank you very much.
All right, in the course of the program, we are going to be going to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. We'll be joining our correspondent there, Musbah Odan Wahab, for the Joint Arab Islamic Summit. That is when we get clearance to join. But meanwhile, let's continue with the news. And the Nigerian Army Resource Center is strengthening proactive skills of personnel to enhance intelligence tracking in combating emerging security threats. This came up during an executive leadership and strategic management course for staff across selected ministries and departments aimed at enhancing, navigating through the complex challenges faced by various organizations.
It's not possible for one agency to solve the security situation we are facing, not only in Nigeria, anywhere in the world. That's the belief. And that is why we believe that it's better to run programs like this, not independently maybe for the Army or for the FCC, but to have a joint training so that everybody will know their strengths, their weaknesses, and understand each other. And above all, reach across boundaries and borders to make friends, socialize, and network. And that's one of the challenges I give to the participants. Please don't believe I'm doing well. And so I am comfortable in my area of operation. Reach across.
We have trained a total of 100 participants from the EFCC, along with other participants from sister security agencies. It is hoped that the knowledge gained here will impact positively on the operations of the Commission.
The session is an initiative of the Nigerian Army Resource Center in partnership with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to tame security challenges. All right, we'll take a break at this point. The program continues shortly.
Government of Nigeria warns vandals of national assets, electricity transmission towers, cables and other facilities to desist from this act of sabotage. Vandalism is a serious crime punishable under the law. Vandalizing electrical equipment will affect millions of Nigerians, including your loved ones. Remember that national assets belong to all of us, hence the need to protect them. Report all cases of suspicious movement around electrical facilities to security agencies. When you see something, say something. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation in collaboration with the National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, Office of the National Security Advisor.
The spate of vandalism on power infrastructure in the country continues as the transmission line along Lokoja-Gwagwalada has been pulled down. A statement by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says that 3 towers along Line 1 have been vandalized, disrupting bulk power transmission along the route. The vandals also stole 2 spans of aluminum conductors from the Line 1. Though a double circuit line, TCN assures that it is still supplying bulk power through Line 2, while efforts are underway to source replacements aluminum conductors for the 2 spans stolen from Line 1. TCN describes the rising trend of vandalism on transmission lines and towers as threats to the country's power infrastructure and hindering the expansion and stability of the national grid, as it again appeals to communities hosting transmission lines and towers to collaborate with it and security operatives to combat the menace. National state government is placing premium on the development of technical education to harness manpower for the growth of its critical sectors. Governor Abdullahi disclosed this at the first public lecture of the State Polytechnic in Lafia. Aliyu Tijani reports.
It's the first public lecture organized by the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Isa Mustafa Agwe the First Lafia chapter. With the theme, Enacting Future from the Past, the lecture provides platform for stakeholders to dissect the role of technical education as Nasarawa strives to attain industrialization. Governor Abdullahi Sule says government is focusing on technical education with introduction and accreditation of new courses in the Polytechnic, as he assures of more support to the institution.
We started working on getting accreditation. Today, I'm happy. We have at least 6-7 technical institutions, so you can call yourself a polytechnic today.
Acting rector of the Polytechnic says the school remain focused in producing graduates with skills rather than certificate for self-reliance. ASUP chairman pledges the support of its members to promote industrial harmony in the school.
We are not saying that those who must necessarily teach in that place be people from the area, because the spectrum of knowledge is beyond ethnic considerations.
We must understand that our youthful population and vast human capital is a resource.
Awards were presented to stakeholders, including Governor Abdullahi Sule. Security post was also inaugurated in Lafia. Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
And next is sports update.
The Nigerian under-16 female basketball 3v3 team has secured gold medal at the Dakar and Jogs 2024 festival in Dakar, Senegal, after defeating the host country with a score of 11-8 in the final, becoming champions of the under-16 female basketball category. The head of the delegation, Victor Okoro, commended the girls for their impressive performances. On the other hand, Edo Queens, winners of the Nigeria's Women Football League, started their CAF Women Champions League campaign by defeating Commercial Bank of Ethiopia 3-0 in their debut match. MN Essien, Folashade Ejamilusi, and Chukwamaka Goodnet Osigwe scored the goals for Edo Queens. Elsewhere, Roma has sacked Ivan Juric as manager after a disappointing start to the season. Juric had taken over from the club legend Daniele De Rossi just in September. The Serie A team is now on the lookout for their third manager of the 2024-2025 season, currently sitting in 12th place in the league standings. And finally, Telefries maintained his composure against a frustrated Daniil Medvedev, winning the ATP Finals opener in straight set. The American achieved his 50th victory of the year, defeating Medvedev 6-4, 6-3 at the season-ending tournament in Turin, Italy. For Sport Update, Amazongo, NTA News.
To come up with innovative ideas towards enhancing government's efforts at creating a Nigerians in the diaspora are excited about democracy. And so Nigeria, led by the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, NIPC, will be
We solicit your prayers as we mourn our departed colleague, Joy Osiago. And as Panorama today, thanks for watching.